Hello there, fellow citizens! Star Citizen's 3.17 update is right on the brink of releasing. We'll probably see it dropping to PTU within the next week or so, at least Wave 1. And the most recent Star Citizen Live with Todd Pappy talked a lot about what is coming in this patch, what we can expect to see, and some things that we didn't really know were coming until he mentioned them. In this video, we're just going to touch briefly on some of the points that I think are most important from this Star Citizen Live, which was incredibly informative. It's really great. If you want everything in more detail, please make sure to go and watch it. I'll be linking that down in the description. But here I'm just going to be summarizing some of the most important things. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and let's get right into this. So first of all, I think the thing that a lot of people have been talking about is the air traffic controller keybind. There will be a dedicated key that you can bind to call an air traffic controller. In the event that there are multiple air traffic controllers that you can call, which could include, you know, maybe a station, as well as like sending a docking request for a Merlin or whatever, on a constellation. Their plan is to implement a thing that you can tap the button multiple times and kind of scroll through the list and pick the one that you want. They talked about refueling and the fuel rebalance. A lot of ships currently have more fuel than they maybe should have. A lot of smaller ships, especially fighters, also have some sort of fuel scooping functionality that is going to be changing starting in 3.17. All of the ships that are not supposed to have fuel scoops are going to have those removed. This means that ships that you have been flying that you expect to have a certain range are not going to be able to go nearly as far. This is in preparation for the new refueling mechanics, so that ships that, you know, smaller ships that cannot carry as much fuel are going to need to stop off for fuel more often, or you may actually run out of fuel somewhere in the verse and need to call someone to come and refuel your ship, and they'll have to come in a Starfarer and refuel your ship. So that's a very interesting change and a very interesting gameplay loop, and I think we're not going to see the impact of that quite as much in the Stanton system, because Stanton is really small. But when Pyro comes later this year, we should see that have a much bigger impact, because Pyro is massive. It is much, much larger than Stanton, and so the distances between things are a lot greater. And so if you're in Pyro, you're going to have to either really think a lot more about, you know, where you're stopping off to refuel, or you're going to need to prepare ahead, and there is the possibility of running out of fuel and needing to call someone to come and refuel you. The MISC Hull A, which is also coming in 3.17, some people were having some concerns about the ship. Because it is a transforming ship, there have been some issues with some of the other transforming ships, such as the Reliance series, in just the way that they spawn. If it's going to spawn extended or spawn retracted, they have confirmed that if there is cargo associated with the ship, it should spawn in the extended form, so as not to break anything with that. As far as ships that have released in 3.15, 15.1, 16, 16.1, stuff like that, those are going to start being added back into the in-game store, so you will be able to buy them in-game from the various ship shops. I'm not sure exactly which ones are going to be showing up at which store, but everything from 3.15 and 3.16, we should be seeing those filter in 3.17 and 3.18 being able to be purchased from the in-game stores. So that's really good news. stuff like the Ares, the 400i, the hover quad, other ships like that are going to, start making their way and being purchasable in-game. So if you have been looking forward to getting your hands on one of those ships but did not want to spend real money on it, this is a great opportunity for you to be able to snag one once they come in game. They talked about the river technology. It's only going to be on Microtech for now, and only one of them. They just want to make sure that the technology is functional, that it's not causing, lots of lag and stuff like that. And as they confirm that it is more functional, it should begin to be rolled out onto more planets as they continue to refine this technology to the point where they want it. They also mentioned that they have thought about adding a fishing gameplay loop. It is not a priority at this time, but it is something that we may see come into the verse at some point in the future. They don't have plans to add it to the roadmap or start production on that at this point in time because they have more important things to focus on, but when they find a spot, they may, add a team to work on implementing fishing. So that's pretty cool. If you're looking forward to fishing, that's some really good news for you. As far as selling items to shops go, they mentioned a few different things. First of all being, if you attempt to sell items from the online store to a shop, that you will not actually be able to sell that item. They have a tag that they are bound to your web-based hangar, and you're not going to be able to sell them to a shop. This is to prevent people from just constantly doing a character reset if they have a bunch of armor in their hangar and selling them to shops to make a profit. Selling things to shops should actively affect the inventory of the shop. If the shop stocks that item, it should add more items to the shop. So for instance, if the shop is out of med pens and you sell 50 med pens to the shop, then the shop should now have a stock of 50 med pens back in the shop. They mentioned that this 3.17 update is going to feature a very early iteration of the Quanta system, which is incredibly exciting news. And this is going to be implemented just for a few things. I believe they touched on fuel capacity at stations as well as shop inventory at various shops are going to be tied to this early iteration of Quanta. So that is going to be something that is going to kind of, fluctuate and move and start to build upon each other like we've seen with the way that the Quanta system works, and that's really, really exciting news. We had no idea that they were even starting to consider implementing Quanta, and this may be just a very early piece of the Quanta system, but it's very exciting to see progress adding that into the game. It is such good news, and these kind of systems finally starting to make their appearance and debut in Star Citizen, even in early iteration, is really, really, really good news for the future of the game. As far as server desync, they have been implementing fixes for server desync. It should be a lot better in this patch, so you shouldn't see ships teleporting around in combat nearly as much as we have in the past, which is really, really good news. And that's also a really big thing that is coming in this patch. There's a lot more that they discussed and went into a lot more depth during that Star Citizen Live, and so I highly encourage you, if you want more information on everything that they talked about and some of the topics that I didn't even touch on here, to go and watch that Star Citizen Live. It's really, really good, super informative. I will leave a link to that down in the description. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do make sure to subscribe to my channel, leave a like on the video to help support me, and if you'd like to come and join my community and come chill with some of the cool people in it, feel free to check out my Discord, the link down in the description. Anyways, as always, I'll see you guys in the verse. Take care.